Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Hot Girl Morning Podcast. I'm so excited to have you here and so excited that you get to listen to this episode now and that I'm at a place where I can truly talk about this topic because I have healed so much from it. A little bit of behind the scenes for you right now. It's literally Monday morning. I haven't done anything for work yet. I'm recording this straight away. Normally, I always do my routine in the beginning where I do a daily check-in and then I write my to-do list. But today I was just like, okay, I feel like talking to you about this topic because literally I think 20 minutes ago, I was still crying, and I wasn't crying because of sadness. I was crying because I felt so much pride and so much happiness and so much love. And I don't know, it is like a combination of feelings because yesterday I took some time to reflect and to see how things have been developing and all the things that I have learned and everything that has happened since then. But also, I don't know, I see my friends' lives change and I am so proud how they are changing, and I don't know, I feel so much love when I think about all the amazing people in my life and that I get to know them and that I get to spend time with them and to see when positive things happen in their life and to see how they take action towards their dream lives. And this is also the part that makes me so excited about the Supportive Bestie Club. It's just that we have such an amazing group of people where they are all striving for their dreams and they're all taking the action, and to feel such a support and so much love is the most amazing feeling. And having in mind everything that happened this year for me, this is so beautiful. I'm so why do I start crying? I'm so grateful for the people in my life because I feel like especially when you go through some mental health stuff, it's kind of, you crystallize and you find out who are really the people who are sticking with you and are supporting you. And I'm so happy that I basically had all my relationships became so much stronger through this happening. And I feel very, 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 very grateful to the people around me. Okay, how should we even get started? I think it's maybe good to tell you a little bit about what happened for me in the beginning of the year and how it all started and how the transformation has been since we came to this place right now, and maybe some tips or something like this. As you know, I do not really plan episodes. I just start talking and start speaking out of my heart. And talking about I talked about the Supportive Bestie Club a second ago, just putting it out there, if you're interested to hear more about that, we are a group of women where we empower each other to go for our dreams and we keep each other accountable. We have weekly calls together, and it's like having 7 other supportive besties in a group, and it's so beautiful. We have people from all over the world coming together, but still we are all the same, where we have the same topics in our minds and the same dreams, which is just to be happy and be in peace and to see each other empowering and to take the action towards this life and to step into this higher version of ourselves is just so beautiful. So yeah, if you want more information on that, you can just DM me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, greta.webhofer. But as always, you can always find all the information in the show notes, or if you're watching this as a video podcast on YouTube, you can find it in the info box. I think that it's called like this. Okay, then let's talk about burnout, I guess. I just want to make it very clear, I have probably not suffered from the worst burnout that the world has ever seen. I was not at a place where I needed to go to a clinic or where it was like that kind of serious, but it was still, it felt very real and very painful for me. So where should we even get started? I would say that, okay, I started my business in the beginning of 2022. It started out great. It was amazing, but I followed a strategy that didn't really feel aligned. And then I kind of pivoted more towards, okay, finding my own strategy, doing my own thing. But doing this also meant that seeing results is something that takes more or longer time. And I was completely okay with that. But basically around November of last year, some topics came up for me where I first felt, okay, there were some things coming up and I was that, okay, the thing is, I don't want to say too much if I'm honest. Like, I don't want to give you like all the details because this feels very personal to me. But I also want to give you as much so you know what happened, basically. So yeah, you can just imagine in November, like things started coming together where I more and more felt very pressured that I need to make things work. There's no other way for me than to make things work. And November was still kind of okay, but then in December, I got more and more into this like tense energy, and I did yoga every day. I did meditation every day, but still, I feel like the thing that I never took a break from was the worries in my mind. I basically, like, over the winter, I never saw the sun. Like, because I was working a lot and it went dark quite early. So every time when I would go for a walk, it's already dark outside. Like, maybe on the weekends I saw the sun, but other than that, I did not. And then somewhere in December, I had my first anxiety attack. I feel like it is from the feelings that I have felt before and from the attack that I had, like, it is very distinct, like that there's a difference between just normally feeling anxious or something like that. And yeah, so in December, this is where the first, I'm very, like, I just want to make it clear, I didn't have a panic attack. I feel like panic attack is more like you're afraid that you're going to die, you can't breathe anymore. I had anxiety attacks. So it started basically in December. And I, like, the pressure I have created within myself just grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then a lot of, like, unfortunate events happened one after the other. And basically, instead of celebrating New Year's Eve, like, with my friends on a beautiful mountain hut, I had COVID and I was alone at home. And okay, not alone, my parents were there, but my parents fall asleep on New Year's Eve at like 9:30 p.m. So and there were just already so many things piling up that it got to the point where I was just like, I think it was 7:30 p.m. and I was like, I had a mental breakdown and I was just like, I don't want to experience this day. I don't want to experience this New Year's Eve. I just want to go to sleep and wake up the next morning and never having to think about this again. And yeah, after my mental breakdown, I fell asleep. And of course, at midnight, the fireworks started. So I woke up. And since I already got to bed so early, I couldn't fall asleep anymore. So it was literally 4 p.m. 4 a.m. when I finally fell asleep again. So I was 4 hours awake, mental health, things happening, spiraling, very dark place in my mind. But still, a couple of days later, I was just like, okay, no, I'm going to make things work. I'm going to make things work. And basically what happened in the next like 2 or 3 weeks is more and more of this thought running my mind that I can't do it anymore. Like everything my mind was telling me was just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I don't have the energy anymore to try and to make things work, and I don't know how I will survive if I'm not making things work. And that was really painful. Like I randomly started crying. I don't know, like I can cry when I watch a movie, but it's normally not that I just randomly cry every second. And I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. And then somewhere around like mid to maybe like third week of January, I had a conversation with my best friend, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what is happening. I was crying the whole day. I can't do it anymore. And keep in mind, I had every single day I had headaches. Every single day I just felt exhausted. I didn't feel joy. I don't know. I was just like truly burnt out. And I had this conversation with my best friend, and I think I asked her, I was just like, okay, I need some tough love. I need some, like, tell me something that will help me right now, please. And she was like, okay, let me be honest with you, because she has had burnout before, and she was like getting professional help before and stuff like that. And she was like, okay, this looks like burnout to me. And it is so weird when you realize something like it was never on my mind before that what I'm experiencing is burnout. Yes, I'm stressed 24/7. I feel pressured. My only thought in my mind is that I can't do it anymore. But still, the thought that this would be, and I did not just feel all those things. Well, I did, but there were nervous breakdowns in between, anxiety attacks, stuff like that, where I'm just like, okay, why, what? I don't know. And when you then have the point where you realize it was just like, okay, crying so hard, but I need to do like a full break. So what happened then for me is that I was just like, okay, let's truly, like, I'm gonna take, I cannot continue how I'm working right now, because this is not getting me any results. Because when you approach your dreams and goals with so much pressure, it doesn't work out. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to give myself now the break that I need. I had in my mind, like, let's say 2 or 3 weeks maybe where I don't work. And in this time, like, I started going for walks again. I started, like, I don't know, going out to nature. And I literally, like, it ended up being like 1 month where I really did not do anything for my business. There were like other kind of little things coming up where I did some other kind of things, but it was so helpful for me to, for once, not think about a strategy, not to think about anything regarding my business, because my business had a big play into all of that. Because I feel like for me, one of the most important things for me is that I see the impact of what I'm doing. And when you don't see the impact and you're putting so much pressure on you, it is really, really hard. Okay, just really quickly, here's future Greta coming in. I already finished the whole episode and I realized that I need to add something, because from the way I said things, it sounds like my business was the whole reason that I got burnout. But I kind of forgot to mention that a couple of months before I moved back into my hometown, and this hometown, as I said in previous episodes, there was a lot of bullying happening, and just that I didn't feel like home here at home. And there's a big other aspect that I don't want to get into. So there's a lot of trauma and healing, and it was really hard to get back to this place. And I feel like that whole transition to be back at this place that triggered so much was a big contributor to everything. Because when I was not there, and when I was like, when I lived in Vienna, like, those things, those traumas, like all those things, like they didn't affect me that much. But when I got back, those things really came up and I needed a lot of healing from them. So I just want to make it clear, the business was not like everything that played into my burnout. There was just a lot of aspects, and a big one was that I moved back here and that there were a lot of things that were really, really difficult for me to handle and to live with, and to just not be in the environment where I felt the safest and most supported. Yeah, so just quickly wanted to put that in there. Now let's continue. So I ended up not doing anything for my business for a whole month. I had really difficult conversations. I started meeting friends again because I haven't seen barely anyone. And it was, I don't know. It is sometimes like when you're in a position where you really don't feel good, or at least I, or a lot of people who are like really reflective, try to already find the lessons and learn and improve and stuff like that. And I feel like when you're also in this place, you have to learn to kind of detach and to accept. And I think this is one of the biggest things that I worked on, was not fighting anymore the place where I have been in, because I feel like I hated so much where I have been that I couldn't move forward. Like there was so much feeling towards what is happening right now that I just couldn't move forward. And I think the thing that took me now months to learn was really truly accepting where I am and taking things as they are, if that makes sense. So I think after 2 months or 3 months, an opportunity opened up for me that I would go to Spain for a month with my amazing friends and with my boyfriend, and that I would work from there. And this is where like things started kind of picking up again. I did a lot of inner healing, reflecting. I kind of, you have to imagine, since I think a big part of me getting into this really negative mental health was my business and the pressure I was putting on myself regarding my business. So in my mind, I associated my business with a lot of pain. And this is also why I was really afraid to really get back at it. And I didn't have the courage to do the work that is necessary to see the results, because I was so afraid of not getting the results or of it not working out, if that makes sense. So a lot of time of reflecting and everything went by, and I remember just in the beginning I was just like, okay, I will just give myself like this 1 month, blah blah blah. But healing from something like this takes more than 1 month, and I feel like this is like a phase or a transformation that goes like over a long period of time. At least it was for me. And I think often when you're in that improvement bubble, you're just like, okay, let's do this habit, let's do this. Like you're so much in that finding solution kind of phase that it is so important to learn to step back and just accept and be okay with where you are right now. And I think that is one of the biggest skills that I have learned, is just to enjoy where I am and enjoy the journey towards what I'm creating. And I was like really thinking about getting another job, because like this is my full-time thing. So I was really thinking about, okay, should I get another job? But for me, job search was something where anxiety attacks came like this, because it just gave me the ick. I feel like now I'm better with it, but it's still not my favorite thing to do, because I know deep down that this is the right path. And I feel like that is also something that I've learned, that often you like the people around you, they just want the best for you, but they don't know what's best for you. And you listen to their opinions and maybe think, okay, maybe I should really try this, but deep within, this doesn't feel like the right thing for you. And I feel like now in retrospect, I should have listened more to what I knew deep within. But it was like I was surrounded by so many clouds that it was so difficult to see or to have this clarity, and I just needed time to go through this. And I feel like now I feel like things were really, really picking up around June, where I felt so much better. Like things were really, like I felt excitement for my business again. I had ideas for my business again. Then in beginning of July, there was still like kind of a dip, but then like end of July, August rolled around, September, and I have the way I love my business again. And not just again, I love it so much more. And I feel like now I'm doing really the things the way I want them to be done. Like I am not getting blended by what other people do and I should do this like them or whatever. I feel like I'm finding my own voice and doing things the way I want them. And through having this business for 1.5, almost 2 years. Whoa, that sounds weird. I have learned so much, and I'm so happy that I'm at the point where I am right now. And while I was going through that phase of recovery, I was always trying to how can I say this? I was always trying to like, okay, let's fix this. Let's get out of that. Let's do X, Y, Z. And I feel like now I can see everything so much clearer. And I think before, like I was already like a great coach and I delivered like the transformations for my clients. But I think through experiencing this, I became even so much better, to be honest. I think like, I don't know, this really opened my eyes, and it's so beautiful. The more you work with more like clients, you can see patterns and you can see what are like common themes. And it is so interesting to work with so many different people, and that I get to help them, and that I'm now at a point where I'm just so happy with where I am in my life and in my business. And of course there are topics that I want to work on, but all in all, I'm so proud of myself, the way I took my steps and the way I listened to myself and the way I showed kindness towards myself and the way I let myself learn from myself in a way. And I think it is always like after you go through something, it's always in general interesting to say after, because maybe this transformation will still keep on going. But wait, what was my train of thought? I think I lost it. Often afterwards you realize how transformative this has been. And I feel like there are different kinds of growth. There is like this growth of, yes, I'm doing this course, I'm reading this book, I'm trying X, Y, Z. And then there comes burnout, which allows you to grow in so many different levels. And I feel like it allowed me to heal and to just become aware of like some deeper wounded trauma stuff that happened in my past, and to let it go, because I created the space for the deep things to come up so I can let them go. And I feel like we often put tags on the emotions that we feel. They're like the happy, excited kind of, those are the emotions that are good. Those are the emotions that I allow myself to feel. And then there are the emotions like anxiety, overwhelm, anger, stress. And those are negative emotions, and I'm not allowed to feel them. And I feel like that is one of the biggest problems that we have in our society, because when you put those tags on the feelings, you learn to suppress the negative emotions, if that makes sense. You learn to suppress the emotions that you don't want to have here right now. And through suppressing them, you make them even bigger and you create a problem long term. And I don't see overwhelm as my enemy anymore. I don't see stress as my enemy anymore. I don't see anxiety as my enemy anymore, because this is like my unconscious like tapping on my shoulder and telling me, hey, there's something you still need to work on here. It's still something you need to learn. And especially when things like overwhelm come up, or like the feeling of being stuck, it's like your body is trying to tell you something. It is trying to lead you to the life that you want to live. You just need to listen and then adapt the path and change the path. Okay, I think this is a bit of a longer episode. I hope that something was in there that is also helpful to you. And if you're struggling with any kind of mental health issues, I hope that you know that you're not alone. There are a lot of resources that you can get. And I want you to know that it is okay not to be okay. It is okay not to be okay. And it is okay if this recovery takes time, and that you don't feel like your best self already tomorrow. But the fact that you're taking this time to recover, to heal, to just be, to accept, is a huge step. It is literally a huge, huge step. And I'm so, so, so proud of you. Like, deeply, I'm so proud of you. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.